Yeah, you can make a lot of money doing this job, but you also have to realize is that
I am so excited for this guest. I have been following Kalen since the food review videos. Okay, many years ago. Well, actually, not that many years ago, but some years ago. I'm so excited to have you here on Too Personal. Welcome, Kalen Allen.
hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
You are, I think, the definition of post that video.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
Post it.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid.
Yeah.
Press post.
Mm-hmm.
Because a video about, what was it, a 7-Up salad?
Well, the first one would have been the cornbread video. It was like 4 different cornbreads being made 4 different ways. But it was a while ago. That was 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot has happened since then.
A lot has happened.
You have a great show right now,
Mhm.
and you need to go check it out. You are the host of Fox Reality Check.
Mhm.
You can follow them at Reality Club Fox. Have you seen Interstellar? We need to start there.
Oh, okay. So you know what's so funny? That is so funny. You just asked me that. This past weekend, I was literally like, I need to watch Interstellar. Did I do it? No, still haven't. Still haven't. Still haven't.
You have to watch Interstellar.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Listen, I don't assign a lot of homework
Uh-huh.
to guests, but the way I clutch my bro, you haven't seen
What's it about?
Interstellar. First of all,
They in
I'm
space?
just like, see, my eyes are getting a little watery. I am not a crier.
Oh, you cried.
I am not a crier.
Mhm.
I have to conjure
Mm.
the correct environments to bring those
Okay.
emotions out of me. I have pushed them.
What's your
down.
sign?
Capricorn.
Me too.
January Capricorn?
Yes.
Interesting.
What's yours?
I'm January Capricorn.
What
What's your-
day?
What, 17th?
4th.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you, you have access to your emotions?
Yes, but they don't live in me, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I am not emotional first.
No,
And
never.
the only time I'm ever really emotional is when I am hearing somebody else's story. Like I get emotional about hearing somebody else's. Like recently I've been talking to a lot of people, and when they tell me their life story, that can make me emotional, but not in a place of like, oh my gosh, look what you went through. I see it more as inspirational. Like I cry when it is something inspirational
Okay.
or like meaningful.
So Interstellar made me cry in that it was someone else's story, obviously. But first of all, the acting is incredible.
Mhm.
You have to watch it.
Okay.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because you guys were talking about Matthew McConaughey
Oh, yeah.
being on Bear Grylls' show.
Mhm.
And he said, "Is he broke?"
Because he was on the show.
Such a good question.
You never know what Bo gonna say on that show.
Okay, but it's such a solid question because why are you climbing down a mountain, Matthew?
Yeah.
But Interstellar is, so first of all, I'm all over the place, but go and check out Kalen's show because it's great. But please watch Interstellar.
Okay.
I do think even as a Capricorn, it will make you cry.
Okay.
And it's
I cry on a lot of movies.
and it is a crying movie. It's very long, but it is a beautiful movie.
Okay.
And I believe Hans Zimmer does the
the orchestrations?
the orchestrations. So even that will just, conjure some emotions.
Beautiful.
How are you right now? You have a lot going on.
Mhm.
You have things on the horizon.
Mhm.
You've gone through a lot of huge career changes. A
Mhm.
lot of your story I can relate to
Mhm.
very deeply, which is why I'm excited to talk to you. But how are you right now? Your spirit, there's a lot going on in the world. The business is crazy.
Mhm.
A lot of things have happened. How are you?
I think, I turned 30 this year. And when I turned 30, it was very seismic as far as the transformation that I went through. And I think I have now gotten to the point where I'm kind of ending that cycle. I moved back to Los Angeles last July. And I thought at that time that I was coming back to LA because because work was very slow in New York. And I felt like I needed to be back here in order to get the work going. And then the work started to flow in. But then I turned 30 and then the world started to really shake. And it seemed like every persona I had ever created up until this point started to crash into me. And I got into a place of actually acknowledging what my success had been built from and what my drive came from and how that wasn't serving me. And I realized that for a long time, especially when you talk about the Ellen of it all, is because I was in college when that happened, So I immediately just jumped into it. So I really never had any time to kind of figure out who I was as an adult. I kind of just had to figure it out in front of the cameras and doing that all at the same time. And I think I got to a place now where I'm like, okay, I'm about to go back to the East Coast. But now I feel so much more sure of who I want to be and what I want that life to look like and what I want my work to be rooted in, which is a little bit more of healing and joy.
Do you feel like when you first, let's say, started in the business in
Mm-hmm.
2017, just your entry into network television
Mm-hmm.
and Ellen, and you had this correspondence job, that your, I don't want to say persona, but your work was reflective of who you were at that point?
No. Yes and no. I think the food videos were an accident. That was nothing that was ever planned. I never wanted to be a digital creator. I was just like making videos for fun every now and then. And so when that took off, at that time, I was in school for theater and film. And I actually was about to go to grad school auditions at Juilliard for acting. And so I kind of gave up the life of a thespian to now make food videos. So I think, no, they were not, as far as when it came to my craft and the kind of work I like to do. And I think that's the hard part about this business, especially in today's day and age, when it is all rooted in sensationalism, because it feels like you can't do real work, or you can't actually do the stuff that you want to talk about, or I can't be grounded, because I always have to entertain you in order to bring in the views, to bring in the followers, to bring in the likes, to then pay for the bills. And I think that's the hard people that people don't understand about it. It's like, yeah, you can make a lot of money doing this job, but you also have to realize is that everything is based off people liking you and entertaining you. It's not as simple as just showing up to work and you do your job and you go home and you get your paycheck. It's like, it's so rooted in your identity and the way that you show up in the world. And that alone can be exhausting.
We have a joke in our group chat, because a lot of us work in the business, and it's always like, will we ever be able to just go to work? And it sounds like whiny and complainy because we have these amazing lives, right?
Absolutely.
Like, we have incredibly privileged lives.
Absolutely.
We have access to amazing things. We get to go to amazing things. But with anything, there is a cost. There is a yin and yang to everything in life. And I have had this conversation with a friend who really wants to be famous. And I've said to them, fame is like, there's a million quotes for fame, but it does cost you something, and it can bring incredible things as well. But there is nothing without a cost.
Correct.
And so there's a day when you are not feeling well, but you have to go and bring people joy. What part of you do you tap into to do that?
Well, one, I love doing the job. I just say it's a part of the job. And you're absolutely right. We have a lot of privileges, and it does come with the cost, and I've been willing to pay it. And I'm okay with paying it, because for me, my want to be quote unquote famous had nothing to do with money or attention. It had to do with the fact that I was a queer Black boy from Kansas who didn't have anybody to look at to say that that's what I could be. I felt like people only told me of my limitations. And I just all thought that was kind of crazy, especially when I watched people really support like my straight peers that were men and their basketball dreams, and they sure didn't go pro. So it's like when I'm watching you really lift up these people, but you're only lifting these people up because they are straight, but you're telling me that I can't do anything because I'm gay. I was like, that's some bullshit. Point blank, period. And so a lot of my success was rooted in vindicating myself, was rooted in proving people wrong. It was rooted in, I'm going to do everything, and you will never be able to touch me. I am going to go and I'm going to do the impossible, and I will make you eat your words. So it was also rooted in vengeance. But see, that doesn't age well. At some point, that can't continue to lead you, because that is your base of it. That's why I'm saying all my restrictions, or even just my feelings about the business or my specific brand, is actually not rooted in like the actual job or the actual Hollywood of all. It's more so about my identity. It is rooted in that. And I think now I've gotten to a place of being like, well, I want to still do this job because I've always wanted to be an entertainer. But I want to be able to do that from a place of joy and light and healing, and not because I need to prove somebody wrong, because I already did that.
You are wise beyond your years. Truly, you are. It's important to recognize that shift, because I can relate to that very much in having a vengeance motivator. But you're right, it doesn't age well. And once you reach success, you're like, oh, well, I need to find something else to keep motivating me, because, honey, I won.
Yeah.
Like, you can see
the
material.
Yes.
But now who am I proving it to? People in the comments? That doesn't that conjures nothing.
Yeah.
So are you proving it to yourself? Are you proving it to the little boy who didn't have a dream? Are you proving it to other young men who have a dream, who see themselves in you? And you have to choose that.
Absolutely. And I think that's where the work is now. I think one thing about me is that I've always been known for being very confident. I used to always get the note that I was too confident. But the thing about that I think people misunderstood was that my confidence was never to make people feel small. My confidence was for you to look at me and believe that you could be confident too. So that you could see that I stood in who I was and in my power, and I knew exactly who that was, and that's what led me to who I am today. And if I can do that, then you can do that too. Like, I don't let anybody talk themselves down. I don't like anybody to, I am very strict on, I give everybody their credit, regardless if I like you or not. I'm gonna give you your credit because you still did it, you know? Listen, I love J-Lo, you know? Like, and people they love to drag J-Lo to the ground, but I'm like, there's a lot you can learn from her. She knows where she falls short, but she knows her confidence, and she does it anyway. And she lives in it, she stands in it.
Listen, homegirl can make a rom-com.
Okay? And I think she got some hits.
Wedding planner.
You don't think she got it? Jenny from the Block is a hit. Get Right is a hit.
Get Right is a hit. I cannot dispute Get Right. I can't dispute Get Right. Jenny from the Block.
Listen here. In today's day and age, when we got people making AI songs and can barely move on stage, I'll take J-Lo any day.
Oh, of course. But that's the bar. I mean, we not put
the girl can perform.
She's a performer. She's a performer. And listen, Wedding Planner.
Did you watch the new one, Office Romance?
I'm going to.
Yeah, I ain't watched it yet.
I'm going to, because she can make a rom-com.
She can.
Like, and listen, there are not enough rom-coms.
Yeah, the girl can act.
We need more rom-coms.
Forget rom-coms. Enough.
Wildly unrealistic.
Hello.
But a very watchable film.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Who told you that you couldn't be great?
Oh, well, I mean, it would probably be majority of people around me. I think it's kind of hard to say just one person or one specific instance. You know, growing up in Kansas, it's like
Kansas City, Kansas,
correct.
KCK.
But like growing up there in the middle of the Midwest, it was kind of inevitable. And it was never a direct thing of being like, oh, you can't be great or something like that, but you could feel it. You could feel the doubt. You know, or there would be small conversations that would get back to me or something like that. And then it's like, oh, you don't believe that I'm capable. But also, if you ask anybody that knew me as a kid, they tell you they wouldn't be surprised at who I am today, because I never cared what anybody said or what anybody thought, you know. And that's why I say, like, the answer, like, you're like, well, who told you that? I think you can ask any Black queer individual, and they'll tell you just because of the queerness, you're always told what you can't do.
Were you out as a child, like to your family?
Well, not necessarily out, but it wasn't no secret. Kalen always been Kalen. I've always been this way. You know, it wasn't until I was 16 that I came out like to my mother for the first time. And then once I was on Ellen, then I came out publicly to just say it without it, just because I don't believe that gay people need to come out. But I also felt like me coming out and me telling my story would help other people be able to feel like they could do theirs too, because I think oftentimes when it comes to the queer experience, especially for Black people, we only talk about our pain and our trauma and our struggle and how hard it is, but it's or how we died, or how we didn't make it, or how somebody got AIDS and didn't see the other side of the rainbow. And that's just not my story. I made it to the other side of the rainbow. And so I like to lean a little bit more into that. in the resiliency of that it is possible, even when everybody turns their back on you or says that you can't do it, or if you got kicked out of your house and nobody was there for you, that it is still possible.
Do you feel supported by your family in your queerness?
Some, but but that gets a little bit more complicated. I think there is a lot of just family issues and layers that the support goes a little bit not so much about my queerness. I just think the family as a whole isn't very connected. Everybody kind of lives in their own little bubbles, but there is no active support. Like, I can be honest, the only person that came to see me on Broadway was my mother from my family. But that was also when I was growing up. I did shows all the time. I was in community theater, and majority of the time my mother was the only one in the audience. And I think that's also because I think sometimes people can be very selfish. And I think they look at things and they're like, well, I don't like musicals, or I don't like plays, or I don't like theater. And so then they're like, well, I'm not going to go. But that's not what it's about.
Right.
It's about showing up for a child and supporting them and showing up for them and letting them believe that you see worth in the talent that they have or their dreams and ambitions. But when that's not there, then you just kind of exist in your own little ether.
Yeah, and kind of, I think that is a big part of if you have a family that isn't supported in building your own family and creating a supportive environment and a safe environment as an adult. Do you feel like you've been able to cultivate that?
I think I didn't understand how to do that until now. I think from the moment, you got to realize, like, when I was on Ellen, that was in its prime. And we live in LA. So, like, I was at the top of the food chain, and it felt like everybody around me just needed something from me, just wanted something from me. I've had people do things to hurt me because they didn't like that I didn't get a pitch to Ellen or that I didn't get them on the show. Like, and so when you are in this space to now, everybody, you got something that you could offer somebody, you can make somebody's dreams come true, and everybody feels like they're entitled to you. That's tough. But what I had to start looking for was, one, people that I actually had things in common with, and not just being friends with people because of proximity. But also I had to find friends that had just as much to lose as me. And I also had to find people that had just as much ambition as I did. So they understood, because one thing that I realized about me is that I'm not just an artist and I'm not just talented, I'm a visionary. I see the full picture. I see the future before it has happened. And everything that I do is laying the foundation in order to get me there. But everybody don't look like that, especially out here. I tell people, LA is a city of creatives. New York is a city of artists. Now, I done fell out with a lot of friendships in LA. I've never fallen out with anybody from New York because we understand each other. We speak the same language.
Yeah.
We do this, like, the reason why I do this is because I trained to do it. I have 2 degrees, theater and film. I have a degree in master's. You asked about my career. I think that's been the biggest thing that I have struggled in my career, is feeling like people wanted me to be stupid. Like people wanted me to be the joke, or when people wanted me to be the court jester.
In your
presentation.
yeah.
In the persona of who they saw Kalen to be. Is like, if I was never like on and making people laugh or the life of the party, then something may be wrong with me. But at the end of the day, I am a showman. It is a performance. I know how to do it, but that comes from trauma. That's because growing up, I knew if I could entertain people, they would leave me alone. I know how to disarm you. I know how to make you feel comfortable. But that doesn't mean I still don't know that if something changes, you're going to turn your back on me. Like, I've had many discussions recently with Durand about that. I said, also realize that you're attaching yourself to a performance of you as well.
Yeah.
Because if you look at any Black queer person that has made it in this industry, we've often had to be caricatures of ourselves.
Yeah, that's, and as a young person, and I think people forget how big Ellen was. And especially now because she has so gone into,
Correct.
you know, I don't want to say hiding, but
the world is different.
She's stepped back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was the show.
Absolutely.
And so to bring something that people want, to be rewarded for it, both financially, with fame, with access, with a platform, and all of that happening at once, you don't have to, but like, how do you not commit to that persona that brought people in the first place? And then what is the difference? Because I struggle with this a lot in that I've worked in the sports business where
Mhm.
I am not the story.
Mhm.
The story is the story, and
Mhm.
I'm just giving my opinion about this game, about
Right.
this moment.
Right.
I have nothing to do with what happens.
Right.
Now, at times, your opinion may become part of the story, but that's
Mhm.
not the intention. Whereas here, I'm talking about me. I'm
Mhm.
talking about the things that have happened to me,
Mhm.
joy,
Mhm.
not this persona.
Mhm.
And it's difficult for people to bridge that
Mm.
gap. They have an idea of you
Mhm.
because of what you've done,
Mhm.
and they have an idea of who they want you to be.
Mhm.
And I imagine that it is a step further as a queer person
Mhm.
and as a Black queer man,
Mhm.
because we know, why aren't you making us laugh?
Mhm.
Why aren't you making us giggle? Why aren't you saying the thing? Why aren't you
Mm.
why aren't you doing the hands? That's what we
Mm.
came to you for.
Mm.
But that is it's a part of you, but it's
Yeah.
not all of you.
Well, it's funny that you say that because so on Juneteenth, I'm releasing a video that is going to tell the truth of what I was experiencing while I was at Ellen. Because while Ellen was some of the best years of my life, it was also some of the worst. It was some of the time that it would break me down. Like I would go to the show and I would do the performance, and then I would come home and just be depressed and living in it. But honestly, that is a trend for people that work in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that some of the best people that understand comedy, because I think there are different sectors of comedy. But those of us that the comedy kind of lives in our own just everyday expression, it's because sometimes most of us have experienced deep pain and deep trauma. And I mean, Black people talk about it all the time. It's like we take some of the saddest stories of our lives and we find the joke. And I think the hardest part about that was having to be a brand that didn't feel like it could be human.
Mm-hmm.
Of having to be somebody that always had the smile and was there to perform. And I would always say, like, I am very much the show must go on. So it's like, it don't matter if the worst thing, it's almost like that video of Katy Perry when she's backstage and I think it was like Russell Brand had just like broke up with her and she's inconsolable backstage. Like she is crying, she is emotional, she is erratic. And then she has to go do the show because all those people out there are waiting for her to entertain them. They've paid their money.
Mm. And that's the job.
That's the job.
Yeah, I've done that many times. I've been inconsolable
Mhm.
in the dressing room in the fetal
Mhm.
position, and
You got to do the
honey,
job.
do the touch ups and get on set
Right.
and do the
Let's get
show.
it.
And don't the only person who's ever noticed when I've been upset on air is my mother.
Mm.
She would text me and be like, "Were you crying today?" Like, "Are you a witch?
Mm.
How do you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have puffy eyes."
Uh-huh.
She's like, "I can tell.
Yeah.
What happened?"
And see, you would never notice with me.
Yeah, I mean, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, though. I think I'm a good liar. I'm a terrible liar.
Mm.
But you are a performer. You're trained.
Yeah.
So I can see that you have the ability to
Mhm.
compartmentalize all those things at an expert level. How could you not?
Well, I mean, I was on Broadway. You
Yeah.
know, you got to do like 8 shows a week.
No, unimaginable.
And it doesn't
I
matter.
do one thing a day and I'm like, oh.
Right, like
exhausted.
8 shows a week, like it don't matter what you've been through. Them people out there are expecting a show and they deserve the same show that the audience the day before got. That's why if my voice was ever in a point where I felt like it just was not going to come out or it was going to be the least that I could give, I called out of the show. Because I'm like, I'm not even going to give you that. I'm not going to have you sit out here and watch me struggle through this.
And that's a professional.
Yes, that is.
That is a professional.
There's a lot of times I've been to shows and I've seen people struggle through it. And I wanted to go on stage and be like, stop the show. Stop, please. Take them off. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
Let's try
okay.
this again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also a part of it, you know. But also, listen, this sounds so cliche. I learned how to do this business from Beyoncé.
There's no one better to learn it from.
I studied her. I told her that. I have studied her. When I watched the concert DVDs and videos, I was never paying attention to the performance of it all. I know what she could do as a performance. I watched how she worked. I watched the way that she worked with the team. I saw how involved she was, how much she cared about the art, the craft of it.
The Coachella documentary
Mm-hmm.
is one of them. If you are a performer,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're just anybody who has aspirations to do anything, it doesn't have to be in the media space or the entertainment space. That documentary should be studied
Oh, yeah.
in school.
Yeah.
Because what she was doing
Uh-huh.
after having twin children
Mm-hmm.
to be ready for what is, in my opinion, one of the best live performances of all time.
Absolutely.
But certainly at Coachella, it's never been touched. The discipline, the focus, the sacrifice, the hours, that's why she could do that.
But it also lives in her.
Oh no, it is her.
Yeah.
She's not one of us.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying,
she's an alien.
Yeah, but I don't even think that's the case. I think a lot of people could be Beyonce. I think there are a lot of people could.
I could not
but
be
you
Beyonce.
have to have that determination. You have to have that willingness to make those sacrifices, to make those compromises, and to give everything you have to it. And it reminds me of like the Cheetah Girls, right? And you got all the girls. Every time they wanted Galleria to be the enemy, she was right. Y'all didn't want to rehearse. Y'all in Barcelona for a singing competition and y'all running around lollygagging. She was right. Galleria had the Beyonce in her. You know how people be like, you got that dog in you? Some people got Beyonce in them.
That isn't a thing. I think you're selling yourself short, Kalen. The thing, having that thing.
Yes.
There's a reason why you are as successful as you are and have had the career that you've had at such a young age. There's a reason why the stars aligned to bring you to Ellen, for you to have the success that you've had since Ellen, for you to recover from the industry disappearing after that happened. And I do think, some people say like, God doesn't play by me. I don't like that, because like, so God plays about this child that has leukemia. Right. Like,
right.
I don't like it.
Right.
But certain people have the thing. And you have the thing. And it doesn't mean that there aren't other talented people. Correct. There are a lot of talented people. I think everybody has a talent.
Absolutely.
I believe that.
Absolutely.
What everyone doesn't have is the extra thing that allows you to do the thing Beyonce did at Coachella, that to prepare for a tour like Renaissance, to bring yourself to be so dedicated to a craft that you have an audition at Juilliard. Okay? I mean, Julia Stiles, all right, was up there doing the thing. Okay?
She was doing something.
She was doing something. She was this.
Yeah.
But that is an exceptionally hard thing to do, and it requires a special thing that you do have.
Yes. And I also think a lot of my success is God giving me back my due diligence. I think it was God rewarding me and saying to me, it's going to be tough, but I'm going to give you back 10 times anything you could have ever lost. And that's why it's like, yeah, I had a rough childhood. I had a rough growing up. I mean, I've said this many times, like I had letters sent to my house as a 7th grader saying people wanted to murder me because I was gay, and I don't cry about that or think about, I'm like, well, I'm living very well.
Yeah, but that is a real thing to go through.
It is.
I think I also had a tough childhood, and I think sometimes when we talk about horrible things that we've gone through, and everybody has a story, but some people have more stories to their story. That has to go somewhere, and so I do think like.
Okay, actually, I have I can tell you exactly how it shows up in my adulthood. Okay. We actually met for the first time at Sundance.
Yes.
And I remember first, I am not very friendly at first. I am very kind of in my own shell.
Neither am I.
I'm like, I don't know you.
I have been told I'm a terrible first meet.
Yeah, I am like you gotta we gotta warm up to it. And I am generally, it's hard for me to trust people at first. I'm like, I don't know you. And I'm not about to sit and act like I don't like all that. Oh my gosh, how are you? Or like when people be like, I'm a big fan and you actually ain't watched shit I done. Like, please, I don't need you to make me feel better, And so it takes a little time for me to warm up to people. And I think that's a little bit because of that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of like, I'm always watching my back. I'm always trying to see, okay, what do you actually think?
And your life experiences will teach you to do things like that. It's just a way of your subconscious, of your nervous system, of your trauma protecting you. It's
Correct.
teaching you how to move around the world. And yeah, I'm the same way. I've literally been told by
Maybe
friends
it's a
like,
Capricorn thing.
it might be. It might be. Not a good first meet. My friends have told me like, you have got to get better at your introductions, because I will bring someone over important and you're like, hi, nice to meet you. Like, you need to give them some energy. I'm like, I don't know this bitch.
Right, that's what I be saying.
I don't know who the fuck this person is, and it's Ty.
Right, I be like, hi, nice to
how
meet
are
you.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
treat everybody the same.
Yes.
And it is not good for this business though, because people want energy.
Yeah,
don't
I'm not
have
a
it.
good networker.
I'm not
a good networker.
I've passed my network. I give everyone the same energy, and some people feel that they deserve more energy. You don't ever have to give me more energy.
No.
Give me the energy you got.
Show me who you are as a person,
Please.
as a human first.
I can't stand a performance. I can't.
I can't either.
Did I pay for this?
Right.
Then I don't want it.
And one thing about me, the only place you get a performance from me is when the camera hits record.
Other than that, I don't got it for you.
I don't.
So you brought up God.
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship like with the church right now?
I think I've always been a little bit more spiritual than I have been like rooted in religion.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, growing up in church, I never really felt other than church. But we also had a very eclectic kind of church when it came to like who was in the place. Like everybody had a lot going on. Okay. So I never felt othered in the church. Now, but because of that, because of how welcoming I felt, I have a hard time going to other churches.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never want to go to a church. And I have in the past struggled with my relationship with God. I mean, being told that God hates you, regardless if you believe it or not, it does still start to become internalized in you. And so what I really had to just lean on is the proof of my life being proof that God loves me.
Yeah.
Looking around at my house, looking at the privileges of my life, looking at the life I've been able to build and say, well, if God didn't love me, why is this the life I'm living? Wouldn't it not look like this? And then also looking at the people who said God didn't love me and looking at their life and being like, interesting.
God loves somebody.
Okay. And yeah, we're going to work on that one.
Do you feel like within the community, it is a conversation? Because I mean, I struggle. It's like one of the things I talk about probably every day, because I grew up heavily in church, and I have a really hard time with where the church is, particularly the Black church right now. I don't think it's very connected. I don't think that the pillars that it stood for, particularly in the civil rights movement and providing community and safe spaces, is the chapter that it's in right now at a time where I think we desperately need it. And I hate the othering of everyone. And I hate seeing it particularly for the queer community, because it just creates this thing that truly breeds actual hate, and it is dangerous and it is deadly, and it's in the name of God, and it's very frustrating for me.
Well, I think for queer people, they would say it's always been that way.
Yeah.
Since the beginning. And I think when it comes, I think church now, but this is kind of everything across the board. Everything feels like it's celebrity adjacent now. It feels like everything is all for clout or for it to be seen. But people could argue that has always been the case. That's what mega churches were. You know, that's why they were made, because they felt more like, oh, look at me. I've been deemed by God and I've built this big old church and I'm driving this Bentley and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? So I think you are absolutely right to where it doesn't feel community, but that's the whole world.
Yeah.
That goes beyond church. We all live in our phones. It's not community related. Like, for instance, I threw a block party for my community. I live in like a little gated community. It's 12 townhomes. We the only people that live there. And I threw a block party the other day because I was like, I think it's weird that nobody talks to each other. Everybody just kind of lives in their own little house. Everybody got their shades down except for mine. And we're sitting out there, and there's people that have lived there since 2024 that are introducing themselves to each other. And I said, y'all don't think that's weird? That there's no connective tissue? And I especially think in today's day and age, the only thing that is going to save us is each other.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's going to save us. So if we don't connect to each other and have conversations and find ways to work together, we're never going to free ourselves. I think, and that's especially for the Black community, especially when it comes to queerness. I'm not asking you to agree with me. You don't have to approve of my life. I'm grown. I don't need your approval. But if we working against each other while the world is also working against us, how are we going to win? How are we going to come out on top? But if you embraced us and respected us for just who we are, then we could work together. Because the difference is, I'll go march in a Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there for my Black friends and family. But they're not going to show up for me. If my body done been dropped into the water, or if I've been killed because I was queer. We've seen that all the time for the trans community. You're not showing up because the love is conditional, because it's all rooted in your beliefs. But there's a whole bunch of other people that believe that you don't need to exist too. And you tell them that they're wrong. So how dare you go tell another group of people that they're wrong, regardless of what you believe. You don't get to dictate who gets to live their life and how they get to live it and how fruitful it can be. That's not your decision to make.
I have nothing to add to that. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's very sad to see. It's very frustrating in a time for me where I feel everything so much. Like, I know it's my algorithm and I know I'm drowning in it, but it's just like, ugh, like everything is so horrible and people are so terrible to each other. And I am like, damn, should I be more of an asshole? Like, I'm out here just trying to save somebody. And it's like, no, it seems like we're all arguing over shit that was made up.
Absolutely.
And I think, it's Pride Month, and I always, as soon as it hits Pride Month, everyone's always talking about, where's hetero month and where's God month? And it's just like, oh, just shut the fuck up.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. Everything is not about you.
Right.
And I feel like you were raised by people who told you that, and they were wrong. They lied to you. Pretty much nothing is about you.
Yeah.
And it is okay to allow other people to be seen and be protected. And we're constantly at each other's throats, and it's really exhausting.
Yeah, but I mean, we live in a nation that has become very divisive in a more, I think it's always been like this, but now it's just like you can't escape it. It's like in your face every single day. It is drowning you.
I don't know that I think it was like this, and then there was a brief shining moment
during the Obama era?
Yeah, but
I think that may have been an illusion.
Right before, but I also think it was right before technology really spiraled,
off.
So
maybe that's the pandemic.
Social media was still somewhat under control. It still wasn't accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone didn't need to be on it.
Yeah.
There was still some sort of responsibility within the news, all those things. And there was like a small window where I think people, maybe they still had their internalized biases and things like that, but they didn't feel the need to just viscerally pour evil shit into the world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when your president of the United States is able to do that, then why would the average American not think that they can?
I just need the cheeseburgers to do their thing. Why are they taking so long?
Like...
He eats so badly.
I don't, man, honey, plenty of people eat bad their whole entire life. Okay? That don't mean that's going to take them out.
Why is it not working? What's your love life like right now?
Child don't exist. But I think that's by choice. I think for me, one, I am somebody that is completely fine being on my own. I love being alone,
Same. Oh,
and I'm like, best. If you're going to come into my life, it has to make it better. It has to inspire me. It has to help me grow or become a better person. You just can't be here to be here. You have to support me. You have to believe in my dreams. I want someone that looks at me and they see how insane I am. They see my mania. They see how much I love my work, and they know that that is my magic. They see how strong that I stand and the confidence that lives and breathes out of me, and they say, I love that about you. Because the difference is, and for instance, especially in this space, like, I don't have a problem holding the coat. I don't have a problem with standing in the back because I know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're also dealing with men, it gets tricky.
Well, maybe there's some crossover from the hetero to queer community here when it comes to men.
Mm.
It is difficult
Mm-hmm.
to find someone who is comfortable with your shine
Yes.
in the brightness that it existed when they fell for you.
Yes.
Because there is this thing
Yeah.
of like this shiny, amazing little thing,
Yes.
sparkly thing, and I've got the thing,
Yes.
but I don't want anyone else to see the thing.
Yeah.
This is my thing now.
Yeah.
So you can just come out a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but then you have to come back and
Right.
don't let too much of that shine out because it's
Right.
my shine now.
Correct.
And that's not how this works.
No. I always say there's like two different ranges for me. It is either that person is obsessed with me and like doesn't know anything about me, but is only obsessed with the character of me
Right.
or the experience of me,
Mm.
which is exhausting. Like, I'm like, listen, it does not need to be about me. Like, if I say, so what you want to eat? And every time you like, whatever you want. Or it's like you're catering to me. Please. No. Have agency.
This might be a Capricorn thing
like-
too, because this is my whole. I don't want to make no decisions.
I don't
okay?
want, I want to make decisions, but I don't want to be worshipped.
Yeah, no.
I don't need
I can't.
that.
I can't be the center of your universe.
I don't need that.
You have
And
to
then-
have a universe of your own.
Exactly. Or the other side of it is that they want to humble me. Or they want to bring me down. Or they want to talk down on my dreams and ambitions. And I'm like, interesting. Like, I had somebody for a long time that has had a crush on me, that has wanted to, be in a relationship.
Mhm.
And I literally told him, I said, that will never happen because every time I have brought you any of my dreams and ambitions, you've talked down on them. You haven't given me full belief. You've always inserted your doubt into them. I would never be with someone like that. I don't care
Yeah.
how amazing or fine you are. I am protective over my joy and my light. It is what keeps me going. It's what keeps me alive. I'm not giving that up, not for just to have a man in my bed.
Yeah, that I mean I can't agree more. I've grown to really enjoy my solitude.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember I was like, there's a callback to something I said earlier. I can't have my blinds open. I'm a naked house, so
Oh,
that ain't
you
gonna
know,
work.
I can't walk around naked. I don't like walking around naked. I love a robe.
I am a robe. Oh, listen.
Oh, I always got on a robe.
I always have a robe.
Uh-huh.
But I am gonna be.
Yeah, I got like 20 robes. This is my rider. Yeah.
Listen, I have so many robes too. Like robes
Mhm.
are incredible.
Oh yeah. If
I
I'm
don't
gonna be in a
understand why
hotel,
people don't have
I'm
that
not
robe
staying.
is
I'm not staying in a hotel unless there's a robe in there.
a robe, and I need the slippers as well. Because why are my feet touching?
Now
the
I don't
floor?
like them slippers.
I like. The
I bring my
slippers.
own. Them little plastic slippers.
Yeah, I can't.
my
I
feet
need
don't
all
fit
the
in that.
space that I can get into my bag. So I need to use the hotel.
How many
slippers,
bags
but
you traveling with?
It depends. Like I just did a very long trip in Europe,
Uh-huh.
and I was in Italy, I was in New
Ooh.
York, and I was in Dominican Republic,
Ooh.
and I had one big bag in the carry-on bag.
Yeah,
So
that's not enough.
I did really well.
You needed 2 bags for all that.
I know, but it's just too much. These little arms.
I get it.
But yeah, I love I love my solitude. I love my peace, and I think at this point in my life, my peace is the most important thing,
Absolutely.
and that nothing can disrupt that.
Well, see, the problem with me in today's day and age is like, I'm also in a place in my life where I'm like, well, I want kids. But the problem is I want kids more than I want the man.
Well, you can do that.
Oh, well, I know I can.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but that is a choice.
That is a
different.
choice.
That is a different journey.
That is a different
and
journey.
I will say about that, while I fully support, and you are 30 years old, so you
Mhm.
have not. I hate saying like you have time. You have your whole life to make your dreams come true.
Mhm.
But I do think if you want to have kids, you should consider doing
Mhm.
that on the younger side of your life.
Yeah, I don't want to be old.
Yeah,
I can't run around the park with my child
You
if I got arthritis
you
in my
surely
knee.
cannot. You
Who
surely
wants to do that?
surely can. You better be in great shape.
Like what the hell? They at graduation? I'm on a cane. No,
No.
no.
Listen, it really, like the graduation cane thing is fine. It's the toddler years. I don't know how to survive it.
Yeah, but you also got to realize it's like, especially when I talk about kids, like I have done all my dreams and aspirations, like the core of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is now it's just routine. It's just a part of the job. It's just like, okay, all right, we did this. Okay, well, I would like to do this next. Let's do that. So it's like it's so just now it doesn't take as much of my energy
Right.
as it used to because it's so cemented now. And I think my dreams and aspirations are more so now rooted in just my legacy and what I want that to look like.
That's an amazing place to be,
Yeah.
especially in this business. I'm really happy for you that you're there. There's so many ebbs and flows, and you've been a part of one of the biggest, I don't want to moments in in entertainment television history.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a lot and you couldn't speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm excited that you are going to speak on it
Mm-hmm.
and share your story, which everyone doesn't always get the opportunity to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to be at that point at 30 years old where you are confident now and have built your career to a space where you have the ability to make those choices is I want to say it's a blessing, but it is a blessing, but it's also a testament to how much work you've put in and the seriousness that you've taken with your career and your growth.
Well, I think I always said from the jump is that I wanted to work young because I wanted to retire early. I didn't want to still be working till I was like 60. I wanted to be able to do the work now while I was young so that when I was actually enjoying life, I could actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And go and do the things that I wanted to do and go to places and explore places as a grown adult with the maturity of it. Like I didn't go to parties and nothing like that. And I'm not saying that you can't be successful while also doing that. Just my priorities were different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that stuff will swallow you up, especially as a young person, because it's very tempting and it's fun.
Yeah.
But and I'm not saying that you can't have some balance with that too, but
Absolutely.
it is incredible to be there.
Yeah, because I don't think I have much balance.
Well, I really don't like using the word balance, but it slips out sometimes because balance is very relative.
Yes, it changes.
Some days you have a lot of balance
Yeah.
and you've put in social hours
Yeah.
and work hours
Yeah.
and rest hours
Yeah.
and worked out
Yeah.
and eaten right, and you've had a perfectly
Yeah.
balanced day. And the next day is utter chaos.
Well, I think that's another reason why I wanted to go back to the East Coast because I felt like I was more alive there than I am here. Because everywhere in LA feels like it's work.
It has become at least for the business. I always like to say like there's like Hollywood and then
Yeah.
there's the city of Los Angeles.
Correct.
Like obviously
Two separate things.
Yeah, there are two separate things. We are talking about Hollywood.
Yeah.
LA is a vibrant, beautiful place with amazing people
Mhm.
and legacy and history and
Mhm.
real people,
Mhm.
which is why Spencer Pratt's leaving. But Hollywood is a different story. And
Yeah.
I do understand that. Like
Yeah.
it feels like if you're here, you need to be working.
Yeah, well, because everything you go to is an event.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like
And it's all
nobody just
networking.
like does random like stuff that isn't
Yeah.
where there's not a photographer. You know, like in New York, I'd just be like, hey, you want to go grocery shopping with me today? Or be like, hey, you want to go walk to Central Park? Here it's like, oh, can you come to this event? Oh, we doing this? Oh, so I got to get dressed up. Okay, I got to,
You got to put the face on.
I got it. Yeah. Or even if it doesn't feel like that, you got to be always on the ready that it could be that, and that I don't enjoy. But I'm also a person that loves seasons. The way that I explain to people when it comes to LA or like versus in New York, I say it's a personality thing. I am big. I am brash. I got a lot of bravado. I walk the walk. I live in who I am. That's New York. That's the way New York is. I love the chaos of New York. Oh, I was there 2 weeks ago and just walking around. I said, the joy I felt from just walking down the street. I said, every day you walk out, it's just a new adventure. You never know what's going to happen or where you're going to end up. You walk out the morning and you're not back until midnight.
Yeah.
And you done stopped here and done this. And then somebody texts you about this. You go there, you do this. Like, I love that. I'm alive.
It's a very different experience. I'm always exhausted when I come back from New York. I'm like, I've not slept 3 hours and I loved every second of it. LA is much more plans.
Yes. Yeah, you have to plan for it, and it takes a lot longer to get places
Yeah,
because
like
you got
it's
to
we're gonna
drive.
go here tonight for dinner.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll go to this thing afterwards. Maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on how long dinner takes.
Right. But
then
even
we're
to
taking the
get to
Uber
those places,
home.
you need access.
Yes.
The city is also built on access. In New York, you don't need the access. You
Yeah.
can pretty much just get in.
I wish that LA would bend a little on that. I do think the entire it's not even just really LA. It's like so
Hollywood.
much. It's so much of the business
Yeah.
is becoming gate kept again.
Mm.
There was like a wave where it was like the barrier for entry. Like even how you started with Ellen was like something you didn't even intend to do
Correct.
in the food videos, and there's just like a different world now where it does feel like, to circle back to your original point of having to be liked and consumed and continue to provide something that people like and people want to consume, and that is rewarded, and that becomes like this ongoing wheel, this hamster wheel of what everyone is asking for.
Yeah.
And I don't think that provides a lot of creativity.
Right. Well, I think also, like, because even when we talk about this, I think one thing that I think is often misunderstood when people talk about the experience is that they see it as complaining. And it's not.
Yeah, well, people are going to think we're complaining right now.
And I'm like, we're just telling them what it's like.
I mean, I've been in the business 20 years. If you think I'm complaining, I would have just gotten into a different
exactly.
business.
Like, if you
I'm
really hated it that
I'm telling you what it is.
Right.
And how it can be better.
Yeah.
It's almost like what people say about America. Every time I say something about America, they're like, well, why don't you just leave?
Well, we see that in parents.
Yeah, my mom.
That's bred from big parents. Anything that is like,
if you don't like it, leave.
Right, like,
dang.
Like you can never have like emotions. Like, and I always said this, and especially during the Ellen stuff, I said I never want to be a person that is above critique.
Yeah,
ever. You can always hold me accountable. You can always do that, and I will listen to it. I will take it. But that don't mean you're always right.
No, but also, who is critiquing you? Is it anyone, or is it someone that you respect?
I don't think it has to be somebody I respect. And the reason why I say that is because my job as an entertainer is at service of the people. That's every single person, regardless if they have the credentials or not. They are part of the audience. So while you can give me a critique, I can read that critique and decide which things are true and which things are not.
Yeah.
I can make that decision. However, I do believe that every opinion is valuable. And I also understand where critiques come from.
Yeah, I don't think every opinion is valuable. I don't think, I think everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Yes.
But I think when it comes to, I can say that I don't like a play that you've done.
Yes.
But it's just my preference.
Right.
I don't need to share that.
But the key word was just there. A lot of people don't understand the difference from preference and fact.
And fact. And critique, I think, opinion and critique are two different things. Everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Absolutely.
That's actually how I should say it. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Everyone is not entitled to critique. If I want a real feedback on my work, I can get general feedback, which is just general opinion, or I can take it to someone who has done this at the highest level and say, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean I have to receive that feedback or apply that feedback, but I will respect that and consume it and think on it and apply the things that I think are applicable to me in a way that makes sense. General opinion, I think that's sort of the problem of where we are right now, is that everyone thinks that their opinion is valuable. And I'm like, look, Fred 254, your opinion about my fucking toes is not valuable.
Right.
It is not important. It is not fact.
Yes.
It is just how you feel, which you are allowed to feel.
Yes.
And I, in response, I'm also allowed to tell you, it doesn't fucking matter what you feel.
Yeah.
So I think that is sort of where it's lost. Like, being a expert at something should still matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You are an expert at what you do. I can give you my opinion about your work. And in certain spaces, I might be qualified to do that. But certainly not in all. I don't do plays.
Like I would never come to you and be like, I didn't like how you talked about that game. I don't know shit about sports. What the hell? What I look like giving you an opinion about what you said about that game or that sport? I'm like, I don't know.
Right. And I certainly would not give you an opinion about how to do a play. I don't fucking know how to do that. I can tell you if I enjoyed it.
Yes.
But giving you critiques, that is not useful.
Yeah.
It is not applicable.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming by. I'm so excited for what you have next. Make sure that you check out. So you're going to post it on social? What happened with Ellen? Where are we getting that?
Well, that's not about Ellen. That's about my life.
That's about your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Just like what was transpiring in my life at the time that I was at Ellen.
Yes.
Because I think also, like, people love to try to get my opinion about Ellen, and I'm always like, y'all, I was talent. Like, and if we're actually being honest, even when you read like a lot of the stuff that was in that BuzzFeed article, that stuff was before I even got there. In reality, I started at Ellen at 2018, and then the pandemic happened in 2020.
Yeah.
So technically I was only there for 2 years, and I was talent. So anything that could have ever been controversial or wrong was kept away from me. Somebody could have, I may have heard it through the grapevine, but like, I don't know. And everybody that had something to say was from the past.
Well, you don't, it's hard to explain for like, and again, this is not complaining. This is just, I wouldn't try to explain to somebody who is an electrician how to wire something.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of a network show,
Mm-hmm.
there are sections.
Yes.
There are roles.
There's a hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy, and there's also
Mm-hmm.
there's like union level separation of
Correct.
things. As a talent, you do not have control
No.
or influence.
Right.
Certainly not you as a talent.
Right.
Ellen maybe.
Right.
But talent is not in controlling all of these aspects of the show. They
No.
have absolutely,
No.
literally nothing to do with it.
And you also
show
have to
up,
realize,
do your job,
Yeah.
and then you go home.
Absolutely. And you also have to realize is that the crew and the staff there would have never brought it to me or told me because they can't trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean I'm not trustworthy, but at the end of the day, I'm still talent.
You're also not in charge. So even if they brought it to you, what are you to do?
Well, I was also 21. What did you want me to do? Like, I just got
But
here.
like literally, even if you had been there, you are not in charge.
Yeah.
And like, I am not, I genuinely, we have not talked privately about
Yeah.
what's going on there. I am giving you my outsider's opinion about, as somebody who has spent infinite hours
Mm-hmm.
in a network studio,
Mm-hmm.
in a network building, and understands implicitly how
Mhm.
things operate there.
Mm-hmm.
You are not in charge.
No.
That is like, I don't even need to say a thing more.
No.
You are not able to save anyone. You are not able to fire anyone. You are not able to run tell that. That is not the access that you have.
Mhm.
And there is an imagination of how all those things work that is just
Mhm.
inaccurate.
Yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding in the general public of how all this actually works.
Correct.
Nobody actually knows it. And it is so interesting when I see people get on the comments and they're like, oh, he just wants a check, or he just keeping quiet because he's scared that Ellen eating kids or stuff like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Some people say some crazy stuff.
Also, they are eating kids. Go get them.
Who eating kids?
Go get the ones that are eating the kids.
Who they eating the kids?
Oh, they eating the kids. They were eating the kids on the island.
What?
Yeah.
Eating kids?
Specs hates this kids.
Oh, Lord. That's crazy.
Listen, y'all had it wrong, okay? But they are really doing terrible things, and you can go get them.
Oh
Just
my
you can stay
God.
out of Caitlin's comments. If you really worry about the children,
That stuff really be happening?
they're in the files, okay? They're out there walking amongst us. Go get them.
That is crazy.
No, it is, and it's really like, I don't know if you feel this way, but things that are incredibly nuanced and without actual firsthand experience
Mhm.
that cannot be explained, it almost lacks a purpose to explain it.
Yeah. Well, I just got to the point of just accepting. You're like, okay, if you want to not like me, then just don't like me. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can say. And I also think, especially when you live in the public eye, people want you to be a version of who they want you to be.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it feels like you got to be that person in order to make people happy.
And you're never going to make them happy.
I'm never going to make
And
you
you're never
happy.
going to say anything, particularly about that's going to
No.
fix anything.
No. And you can have your opinions about it, and that's fine. But I also know that I can't go back and change the past. And I can't go in and try to uncover more.
And you also know your truth.
Yeah.
And knowing your truth it brings you a lot of peace in a very fucked up situation.
Yeah.
Because and that's really how I feel.
Well, I mean,
If you know the truth, like you can't go to each individual person who knows about this story and be like, let me explain to you
right.
how this all works and
Right.
what happened with me.
Right.
They're going to believe what they want to believe
Mhm.
regardless
of what you say.
Of what you say.
Well,
you
I
could
mean-
you could have the facts. Here you go.
Right. Well,
And-
that's the hard thing about going through a scandal that is real life for you,
Yeah.
but for public consumption. Because the narrative is what it is. No matter how much you try to come in and change it or say that, well, there's a little bit more nuance or there's a little bit more It's not as easy as that. Like how people, like there were so many people that were so angry at me about never saying anything. I'm like, it was an open investigation. We legally couldn't. So now you've made a decision about who I am and what I care about and what I believe because of the legal restraints that I have been put against.
Yeah.
That's silly.
It is, but I have made peace with this as well. That's a lie. I have not made peace with this, but I have accepted and I'm working on making peace with the fact that if you've never been in that situation or been in this business to have adjacent experiences to it, how would you understand that?
Right. And that doesn't mean that people couldn't move differently or that you couldn't make different choices or done better in that situation. But it's the fact of like when other people make mistakes, it stays in their little text group. When we make mistakes.
That's the cost of putting yourself in front of the camera.
Exactly. And that's why I say.
That is the yin and yang of it all.
You pay the price. You know what comes with it. Listen, and that's what I'm saying. It's never a complaint. I'm just saying what it is. You think I want to go back to being broke?
No. I want to be so clear. We are not complaining. We are just talking about our experiences.
Everybody got issues with where they were.
Right. It sounds like bitching. I just got back from Italy, okay?
I don't
I'm
care.
Fine. I will be fine.
I wouldn't do anything else. I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I love it, even the good and the bad. I remember there was somebody on Thursday, they were like, if you're a public figure, like, what's one thing that you miss from the... I said, not a goddamn thing. What the hell? People calling me, flying me business class. What? I'm in Delta One Lounge.
Oh, so
kicking my feet up. I'm living the good life. I'm not changing shit. I like this life. I'm living.
Delta One is so good.
Like,
so properly hyped.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But I can use the privileges that have been afforded to me to help other people.
Yeah.
To bring other people up, to employ other people, to give them the opportunity to
do
teach
it
them
the way that you want to do it.
Exactly. And I can look at how other people have used this business. I can see how they operate. I can see how they move and make the decision that will never exist here.
Yeah.
That will never be a case here. I won't treat people like that. That's how I feel like I'm supposed to do the work. I'm also not a person that believes that all that work has to be shown to the world, that I'm supposed to feel myself doing the good work to prove to you that I'm doing the work.
Well, that's the confidence that you have.
Yeah.
And it really comes from you. So I'm very happy for you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited for everything that you have coming up. I want to come. Wait, are we announcing the...
Not yet.
Okay.
But you should come.
Okay.
You should come.
I'm going to come to the thing we aren't announcing yet.
Soon. Very soon.
Very soon. Yes. So make sure that you follow Kalen at the Kalen Allen. The Kalen Allen.
That's it.
Kalen. Spell everybody's. And the host of Fox Reality Check, Reality Club Fox. I will be tuning in to see if you do your homework and watch what?
Interstellar. Yes.
Interstellar. We have to watch. And you have to let me know if you cried.
Okay.
Because I was ugly crying. I am not a cute crier. Ooh.
Ain't they stuck in space or something? Don't know what it's about.
Are you like a sci-fi? It's not like fantasy.
Okay.
It's like science-y.
Okay.
It's
I do like a little science. I didn't do good on science in the ACT, but I do like science.
Oh, Lord, I'm not a science or math person.
Oh, I was great at math.
No. Ooh, no. I had to take a remedial math course in college. Past that, just so I could take the one math course I needed. Math is not my thing.
Everybody learns differently.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be good at everything. That was something I had to learn.
Yeah,
as somebody that was like everything was rooted in vengeance, I felt like I needed to be good at everything. I felt like everything I had to do, I had to excel at it. No. And I just kind of accepted, be like, I'm not good at everything.
Excellence at the thing that you are excellent at. And you hire people
to do the rest.
To do the other things.
And I love to hire people. Trust me. I love to employ somebody. I'm
not trying to do the other thing. This was so great. Follow Kalen. He has a personal announcement on Juneteenth.
Yes.
And some other professional announcements coming up as well. So excited to support you. And I'm so glad that we didn't have such a terrible meet at Sunday. We were able to connect again.
It was so quick. We was like,
It's
in
like,
and out.
hey.
Yeah, hey, okay. Let's keep going. Back to the code.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks
It
for
was
coming down,
wonderful.
babe.
Of course, darling.